My first girlfriend that I ever had, you guys will know who I'm talking about, by the way, when I just describe this person.
Okay.
So my
sure
first
I know who your first girlfriend was?
First girlfriend that I ever had in high school, a bit of a whore. She cheated on me and someone, or she cheated on two guys.
I think this map is broken for this guy. The camera doesn't follow. Sorry, go ahead.
She was cheating on two guys with me, which like I kind of knew, but I figured out more later down the road. But at the time, I was just like, oh, I finally have a girlfriend, so I don't care.
He was a cuck.
So she eventually,
you cucklord.
Our relationship ended when I found out she cheated on me with the guy, the probably the most like sought after guy in our school. He was the fucking Russian exchange student.
He's not even from Russia.
He's not. He's from Ukraine.
I know.
But every fucking girl wanted him because at the time he looked good. He had the sexy accent and he was very sociable, and he was always throwing parties, like crazy parties. And whenever he would see me in the hallway after I broke up with my girlfriend, because I found out that she cheated on me with him. So I would see them in the hallway, like
look how focused he is. I would get there.
Dragging his foot on the street.
No, my daughter is late for math class. No, must commit seppuku. Seppuku. I have dishonored
ritual suicide.
A little hint with Japanese. You don't put an accent on any syllable.
So I would see them in the hallways. And she didn't like the way that he was acting towards me. I could kind of see it. But he would see me in the hallway and he would just be like, I got your girl, faggot. And every time he would pass me, he would just go, hey, you like this, fucking faggot?
See, that was a lot to him. That meant a lot to him.
And at the time...
That's where he was at in his life.
I had a feling that was going to happen.
And at the time, I still, like, even when I was that young, I was still just like, cool. Words. I don't care. Ooh, words. So...
Sticks and stones may break my bones. Oh, God.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but
giant fucking hammers ruin your life.
But this razor blade makes me feel better. So,
I'm emo.
So then...
Why were you Mario?
I'm emu.
So...
I'm uwu.
Even after high school, for several years, he was still, like, the really cool, hot guy that every girl fucking wanted. And he was throwing parties.
Oh, no.
I saw him not too long ago.
This story is so hard to get out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you've told it on the channel once before, too.
I actually don't think I've told this one.
I know I've heard it, but okay, continue.
So for a few years after high school, he was still fucking cool, good looking, blah, 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 threw parties. And then it was just recently, I want to say like maybe 6 months ago, I'm going to my union class, which is like an hour north. So I would always go to Dunkin' Donuts in the morning. And I was like, all right, so I'm going to stop to get some Dunkin' Donuts. And I'm waiting in line to order.
Oh, come on. Give me a break.
And I was like, that guy looks familiar. Oh my fucking God, is that Oh, I just don't feel like talking to him.
Yeah. You're like, do I have the energy?
Can you imagine a decade later, it's like, hey, I got your girl! Can I take your order?
No, she cheated on him at some point, like several months later.
Oh, good. Keeping up that consistency.
Why is this going on a loop? Why do I have to do this part again?
I don't know. Is this
supposed to be like an endurance? Like,
this map was cool, but now I think it's just kind of stupid. It's unnecessarily long. So I walk up to the counter.
The goal, so it pushes you out at the end.
And I was like, oh, it's Max, and he's fat.
Ooh,
yes.
I like this one. We're fine.
So he was like asking me like how I am and like what I've been up to and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I got in the laborers union. And he was like, and I could tell where
intentional.
I could tell too. I was just like, I know what life you're living right now just by your appearance and where you are working right now. Yeah, and so I was like, yeah, I got in the laborers union. And he goes, oh, so that must pay really well, right? And I felt bad. I was like, I can't believe I'm actually feeling pity for this person.
Yeah, you should have dabbed your tears with a $100 bill.
So I kind of lied a little bit, and I was like, well, it will, but like right now it doesn't because I'm an apprentice, so I'm earning like a lower wage. And he goes, No, I know how much you even make as an apprentice. Like I've looked into a lot of that stuff. Well, cool. That's awesome for you, man. I'm glad you're like you got a good paying job. And I was like, yeah, it's hard work, but I mean, yeah, it's whatever. And
how's Duncan treating you?
And I was like, how have you been? And he was just like, oh, you know, I'm just trying to pay my rent, but you know, this is the only job I have, and I don't get too many hours. And I think I'm gonna be kicked out of my house that I'm renting.
Suddenly unloading some heavy shit on you.
Yeah, I was like, oh
like
wow,
your buddies.
Your life sucks, and you're fat. I felt bad for like a week, and then one day I was just like, wait a second, he doesn't deserve pity. He was a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah,
for
he's done a lot of really bad things.
Yeah, I was like, you deserve all of this misfortune. Honestly, this sounds really wrong to say, but like you deserve to suffer because like you are a fucking horrible human being for a long time.
I consider myself a hedonist, like a live and let live type, but like that guy does not deserve any kind of good karma or good fortune. And he's done nothing to me personally, but I know of things he's done, and yeah, there's no love lost there.
Yeah. And I don't even say that he deserves it because like, oh, my first girlfriend cheated on me with him. Like at this point, I don't care about that. I just know how much of a piece of shit he was.
Right.
And maybe still is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's grown up some, but I have another story about someone who evidently has not grown up.
You have to call me out by name, Eric.
So there was
doing the best I can.
There was this like
we both are, buddy. We both.
There was like this jock type kid in our graduating class.
Name.
And I want to say it was. And he was like the one preppy jock that everyone loved. Like even if you weren't a jock, everyone loved him because he got along with everyone.
The true
else.
bro jocks are pretty great.
Oh, he was super nice. And then like senior year, out of nowhere, you could just tell that like #drugs, and he just became this raging.
You just say that.
Raging asshole. And all of a sudden, I was like, oh wow, he's a piece of shit. So last day of high school, like I'm talking literally the last day of high school, we are walking out of the school, and he's behind me, and he's like telling a story, and at one point he was like imitating someone who was yelling, going like, hoo, 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 hoo.
Yeah.
And so I heard that, and I turned around, and I had a little bit of a smile on my face, and I did what he was doing. I like pumped my fist, and I was like, yeah, hoo, hoo, hoo. And then I turned forward again, and then all of a sudden I'm just on my knees.
What the fuck?
Because he just kicked my backpack as hard as he possibly could, and I just kind of like flew forward and slid on my knees.
Look at me, bro.
And he just goes, yeah, fucking say something else. Say something else. Say something again, bitch. Yeah, that's what I fucking thought. And then he just kept shit talking me the entire walk out of school. And I was like, all right, well, I'm just not gonna like antagonize him because like I'm pretty sure like he could totally kick my ass.
Don't entertain it.
I'm not much of a fighter, and like I'm not gonna pick a fight with someone who can obviously kick my ass anyways.
Right.
So at that point, I didn't see him ever again. Flash forward about 8 to 9 years later, my dad is the superintendent.
By the way, these screams and noises are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Those are so annoying.
The girl sounds like a dog.
So my dad, like eight-ish years later after high school, my dad is the superintendent of like several apartment buildings. He manages them. He collects rent from people. Good. He evicts people when they're not paying.
She's not so good.
He also does like repairs and shit. He pretty much manages the whole property, or like several properties.
Right.
One day he's like talking about how he has to like replace the air conditioner and the carpet or something in some guy's apartment, and he said like something, and I was like, wait,
your ears perked up.
Yeah, I was like, is this first name? And he was like, yeah, why? I think he actually went to. Man, I'm gonna have to bleep out so many names. And,
yeah, I figured you were aware that.
Yeah, you said them all.
And I was like,
geez, this is difficult. I'm not sure how to do this.
And I was like, oh, okay. How is he? And he's like, oh, he's a piece of shit. So he hasn't had a job in years because he could never hold a job.
Perfect.
And his aunt like won the lottery and became filthy rich, and he couldn't find a place to live in for any longer than a couple months without getting kicked out, or a job where he wouldn't get fired.
Okay.
So his aunt just eventually was like, I'm just gonna pay your rent and you can just live in this apartment building that she doesn't even have any connections to.
I really don't know what to do here. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You have the right idea. It's just fucking...
Yeah.
So I guess he was saying that like he needed some stuff replaced. And so I guess one day my dad like replaced the air conditioner and the carpets there, because I guess the AC was leaking and it like damaged the carpet and it was causing like mold growth on the carpet. So he replaced that. He replaced the AC and was just like, yeah, well, like he called my dad again. He was like, you got to come back here and fucking fix this. Like, I'm getting sick because there's still mold here. You fixed the AC, but it's still leaking. And my dad came over there and he starts more shit. He's just like, you got to fucking fix that right away, man. And my dad was like, hey, you got to calm the fuck down. Because like my dad is a fairly intimidating person, at least to me.
Yeah.
And I've heard other people say the same thing. My dad's like, hey, shut the fuck up and calm down. And he goes, yeah? You know who I am? You know who I am, old man? I'm a fucking big shot in this town. You're a fucking no one, old man. You don't fucking cross me.
Oops.
I'll beat the shit out of you, and your name's gonna be shit around here. You ain't gonna fucking manage any properties. I'm a fucking big deal around
As
here.
if beating the shit out of him would just be like, oh, reputation's ruined. Nobody's gonna acquire
we can't hire him. He got punched in the face by a kid once.
Yeah. So my dad did that thing where he like grabbed him by his shirt, like kind of by his like.
Yeah, by the front of it. Yeah.
By the front of his shirt.
Right.
The old bully thing, yeah.
And pushed him backwards, and he fell on the ground, and my dad stood above him. He's just like, listen here, you chicken shit motherfucker.
You can see your dad saying that, too.
You bratty little spoiled piece of shit. First off, I'm the one here who can kick you out. Second off, you unemployed, miserable piece of shit. You can't even fucking live anywhere until your rich aunt has to pay for you because you're a fucking loser. Second off, I will beat your fucking ass. And you're gonna get your ass kicked by a fucking senior citizen.
Whoa, how am I getting that much momentum off of that ramp? What is going on?
Jesus. He got all pissed off and just like went into his room and didn't say anything. The next time my dad went there, I actually had to meet him up there because my dad asked me to unload some stuff out of his van so that he could bring it inside and work on it. What the fuck?
Well then.
So I'm there and I see him and he doesn't recognize me, but he walks up to my dad and he goes, hey, Joe, I just want to let you know, I'm really sorry about what I said, man. I got way too angry. I lied. I'm not getting sick. I just wanted you to fix that. And I feel bad about those threats I made. Like, I'm just going through a lot of shit right now. And my dad was like,
sorry, sir.
My dad was just like, dude, it's all right. Just, I really don't give a shit. You just gotta keep your fucking cool. And he was like, yeah, I'm sorry. All right, well, have a good day. And I was like, wow, dude, he pussed out so hard.
Oh, right, yeah.
I was like, wow, you almost got your ass kicked by, like, a guy who's almost 60. And you are, physically, you should kind of be in the prime of your life, like, while you're, like, 26-ish.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know when you reach your peak.
Depends on the person.
I always hear different numbers. But either way, like, you're 26.
I think it's like mid-20s.
It depends on what you're talking about, too.
We're talking about normal people, not me and you, Pissy. we're like, we'll get there.
I haven't even begun to peak.
Anyways, that's my story about how my dad saved the world.
It's a hell of a good story.
Let's see if Alex can finish this map. All right, that was Guts and Glory.
Ah!